Breaking today, Prince William and Catherine, the Princess of Wales, are going to war with Princess Beatrice and Eugenie, making it clear that if the two daughters of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor ignore their request not to attend Royal Ascot or any other major royal events this year, then the Waleses, William and Catherine, will boycott that event instead. Those are the lengths that the heir to the throne has decided to go to avoid being pictured with his cousin. And perhaps it's no surprise as the controversy surrounding the two daughters of Fergie and Andrew get worse by the day, with this new breaking report that Princess Beatrice was pictured and went on a trek to Nepal with the man in glasses who has just been arrested, accused of spying for China. Now, this new reporting from Richard Eden in the Daily Mail is very interesting. Its headline, Kate and William's new brutal Beatrice and Eugenie cold shoulder, revealed to me by friend, and snooty response from my royal source says it all. Here's the reporting. Now I hear that the Prince and Princess of Wales will not attend Royal Ascot if there is any chance of their being photographed with any member of the York family, who of course could still attend the races, just not as part of the royal contingent. One of their friends told him, I can tell you that William and Catherine won't go if any of the Yorks are there. Now, P. Dine, a royal YouTube sensation, Richard Eden's take is that is a snooty response. But you could also argue, and I know that this divides our community, but you could argue that William and Catherine are simply appreciating the PR debacle and really putting the future of the royal family first. And they have simply said that over the course of this year, so they're not saying forever, but while investigations are going on, while the Epstein emails are still being released, while there's still potentially question marks over the funding of Beatrice and Eugenie, that he doesn't want senior members of the British royal family to be pictured with these two. Now, where do you stand on this? Is this too harsh? Or is William doing the right thing here by making it clear that actually we've got to take tough action?
Yeah, I think it is the right thing to do. And you would think that Eugenie and Beatrice would be on board with that because they should understand that this is very difficult for the future heir to the throne. So why not try to support his image and to not bring any, bad vibes to the people about the association of the two? I think if you're truly supporting the monarch, you would set aside your own feelings and how you feel about the situation, and you would want your cousin, the future king, to not have any, close proximity, to what has happened with their father. So, this is a time when people have to stop looking at themselves and think about, what this means for the institution and what it represents. And you cannot be associated with this story at all. So there should be no risk involved in trying to just, not hurting someone's feeling and trying to be close to them. No, we have to do what we have to do because this is a very serious situation. So yeah, I completely agree with William. It is the right thing to do. Absolutely.
Well, not everyone agrees with that, P. Diner. Celia Walden, who is the wife of Piers Morgan, a friend of Beatrice and Eugenie. Remember, they have been pictured together before, along with other celebrities like James Blunt, has spoken out in favour of the two young princesses, just as it emerges, and this is what's interesting about it, that Piers Morgan's enemy, Meghan and Harry, are reaching out to Beatrice and Eugenie, which very much suggests this continuous war between William and Catherine versus Harry and Meghan goes on. Here's the reporting from Rob Shooter. Just as Prince William scores a very public win by sidelining Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie from Royal Ascot's glittery carriage procession, whispers are swirling that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have quietly reached out to the York sisters. Timing? Impeccable. Sources tell me the Sussexes made contact in recent days, offering what one insider calls support and understanding during a difficult moment. Translation: when the palace pushes you out, Montecito picks up the phone. William's harder line, not King Charles III's softer touch, is increasingly shaping the monarchy's future. Barring the sisters from Ascot isn't just about horses and hats, it's a message. This was William asserting control, a royal source says. You're either in the inner circle or you're not. And let's not forget Eugenie once lived at Frogmore Cottage and has been spotted in California with Harry. These aren't distant cousins, there's history and perhaps loyalty. With William lobbying to further sideline Prince Andrew, the York sisters may be reassessing where they stand. Exclusion has a way of reshuffling alliances, another insider notes. Harry and Meghan know exactly how that feels, and royal wars exile makes strange bedfellows. But the thing is, P. Dinah, I would argue that Eugenie in particular, but also Beatrice, but particularly Eugenie, always took the side of Harry and Meghan over William and Catherine. That was their call.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't like Catherine from what I see. Yeah, Eugenie and Beatrice. So, yeah, it was expected that, Harry and Meghan would, come to their rescue because, they're all kind of like-minded thinkers in terms of the monarchy. So try to do what they want, but they're on the losing side of this historic occasion around this historic story. They're not going to find any kind of well wishes or improvement to their own reputations by continuing to align with this Andrew scandal. So yeah, go ahead and get together, have a party, do what you want to do, but you're on the losing end of all of this. So yeah, Eugenie and Beatrice, they even try to find some kind of solace in Harry and Meghan, are just going to find themselves further down the totem pole, right? Because they are not going anywhere. They have a horrible reputation in the UK and here in the States.
A royal family civil war may be quietly unfolding behind palace doors. New reports claim that Prince William and Catherine, the Princess of Wales, are prepared to take a dramatic step. If Princess Beatrice or Princess Eugenie attend Royal Ascot this year, William and Catherine may refuse to go entirely. Yes, the future king and queen might boycott one of the most important royal events of the year just to avoid being photographed with their cousins. According to insiders, William believes the monarchy's reputation must come before family feelings. But others say this move could create one of the deepest divisions inside the royal family in years. And this is only the beginning of the story. Do you think William is protecting the monarchy or being too harsh toward his cousins? Comment, protecting or too harsh?
In defense of Beatrice and Eugenie, in the Daily Telegraph newspaper, for people outside of the United Kingdom, what's really significant about that is that the Telegraph is the conservative newspaper that the royal family reads. So it's pretty much their favourite newspaper. And certainly if you want to get a message to the British royal family, you write about it in the Telegraph. So you could argue that this was a direct message, especially to William and Catherine from Celia Walden, saying we must not punish Beatrice and Eugenie for the sins of their parents. And she argues, maybe it's just me, but that all feels quite harsh, given there is no suggestion of wrongdoing. Add to that the calls to strip Beatrice and Eugenie of their titles and their grace and favour homes, and the commentator come trolls questioning the point of them, and it all starts to feel like quite a pile-in, doesn't it? When I saw Which Way the Wind Was Blowing late last year, my heart sank for all the above reasons and a few more besides. Full disclosure, I've met both Beatrice and Eugenie on many occasions over the years and always found them to be kind, hardworking, great company, and frankly, a hell of a lot more graceful than I would be towards any journalist had our lives been reversed. And while my primary sympathies have always been with Epstein's victims, sympathy is not, as the social media preachers would like us to believe, a finite emotion. It is possible to feel it for different people in different circumstances and even opposing camps simultaneously. I cannot imagine how hard the past few months have been for these two women. They've never played the victims, never sold their stories, published their literary memoirs, given Oprah The lowdown on bridesmaid-related infights or indulged in any wine-a-thons. They've never been anything but supportive of the royal family in public. They've never chased fame, always tried to forge their own paths, and aside from that pretzel hat at Prince William's wedding, never done anything to embarrass the firm. That includes not marrying highly embarrassing people who are known to circle royals like wasps. They've never embarked on quasi-royal tours, sold jams, or been caught asking any non-white person where they're from. They haven't gone through staff at a rate of knots, or ever been accused of bullying. The last point I would make is this. I know from various sources how much the late Queen Elizabeth loved these two. It's why she made sure they were looked after with their grace and favour flats. And while I'm sure she would do everything necessary to protect the firm if she was still alive now, I can't imagine she would accept that they be judged on anything other than their own actions. So a very powerful argument in favour of the two sisters. Why is she wrong, P. Dinah?
Okay, so you look at what she is saying, but she doesn't have the full story, and the royals do. She doesn't know what the royals know about these two, and she says in there about them having done any wrongdoing. Well, what does she know about their wrongdoing if she doesn't have access to, the documents that still have yet to be released by the DOJ? So how can she even try to have a argument around these sisters when she doesn't have the full picture? She's just saying that. I mean, I could see if it came out that, okay, these are all the documents. This is, clearly they have done nothing wrong. Why do this to the sisters? See, she doesn't know what the monarchy knows, and they know that there is more information to come out that is going to be very questionable about their business transactions. So she needs to understand that she doesn't have the full picture to even say that. And that's the reason why she is wrong. So she should just, I think, say, okay, nothing. Unless you know everything, you should not be so quick to defend these girls if you don't know that they have done some things that will really look bad for the monarchy. And I think that's what William and the others know. They know it's going to get much worse. And this is why they're getting ahead of the story so that they can be in front of things like, people trying to throw out things to them when they do their meet and greets. So this woman, I'm sorry, she's completely wrong for what she has written about these girls.
And then we're speaking about the Queen, the late Queen Elizabeth II, P. Dinah. And have you been seeing this video that's going viral? And I just wanted to play it to you because I do think sometimes we forget how the late Queen sent messages. And it's comparing her reaction to when she saw Catherine, the Princess of Wales, for the first time on her wedding day, and comparing when she saw Meghan Markle and her wedding dress for the first time on her wedding day. And P. Dinah, I mean, if looks could kill.
Yes, and the queen knew. She had intuition about this woman. And you have to remember, Meghan, I think, made a fool of herself before the whole world, showing up with a veil and a blinding white dress on her second marriage. Now, come on. That is what the queen even said. The queen even made this remark about why is she wearing this type of dress when it's her second marriage. It was a perpetration of at the highest level with Meghan. And the queen showed it on her face because guess what? We were all looking like that towards Meghan. We were all like with the queen on this one. Yeah, there's just like there's no comparison between Catherine and Meghan. Catherine deserved to wear the dress and veil that she had. Meghan did not. And it wasn't that people are just saying that just to say it. No, there are reasons, okay? So, yes, the queen was in tune with it, and the queen had a feeling, and she knew, look, I can't even show half, happiness for this woman and what she is wearing because it just looks ridiculous. And the queen knew it, okay?
P. Dinah, there is another really disturbing development over the course of the week. It appears that the Sussex squad are attacking a whole load of our community on X, actually resulting in some brilliant people that, I rely on a lot for their incredible work, seeing their accounts banned. They include Royally Sage, That One, and even Nancy Sidley of the Sidley twins, who host the brilliant Twin Talks on YouTube. Now, this is so shocking to me, P. Dinah, and it does feel like they must be maybe mass reporting accounts or doing something within the X algorithm, because remember, X is about free speech. So a lot of people are suggesting, P. Dinah, that these could be the actions of Sunshine Sachs, who, you know, back in the camp of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. We don't have any confirmation or proof of that. But of course, in the past, Sunshine Sachs is a PR company that has been widely reported to engage in the dark arts of PR. This is really disturbing. What do you think is going on here, and how can we fight back against this censorship?
Well, to me, it looks like they are really working hard to try to, silence the voices of women. And I think a great way to get back at it is to show how Meghan, as much as she talks about women needing to have their voices heard, she sure is doing a lot and spending a lot of money to silence other women's voices. So the PR here can completely be flipped on them and shown how they are behind all of this, because we know that that is definitely what she would do. Who else would put this much effort into what they are saying? They have some good points that are made, and I think that's why they're working so hard to silence their voices, because it is damaging for Meghan, because Meghan is not about what she preaches, and this is a clear sign of that.
So why would William take such a drastic step? Many believe the answer lies in the long shadow of Prince Andrew. Andrew's connection to the Jeffrey Epstein scandal severely damaged the royal family's reputation worldwide. Even though Beatrice and Eugenie were never accused of wrongdoing, the controversy surrounding their father still follows them. And now, new reports claim Princess Beatrice was once photographed trekking in Nepal with a businessman later accused of spying for China. There is no evidence that Beatrice was involved in anything suspicious, but in royal life, perception can be just as powerful as facts, which may explain why William appears determined to avoid any risk of scandal. Should Beatrice and Eugenie be judged only for their own actions, or does their father's scandal still affect them? Type own actions or family shadow.
Sometimes you've actually got to be practical and look at the positives. And my really good friend, an amazing woman called Alison Pearson, who is the star columnist for the Daily Telegraph newspaper in the United Kingdom, who absolutely loves the monarchy but is also totally in touch with the British people, has actually provided some very good advice. Her plan to save the monarchy. And she does suggest that the royal family must make radical reforms. But P. Dinah, I quite like a lot of her suggestions. So I wanted to just take you through them, and then we'll analyze and look at what's practical and what could work. But it's quite interesting to me that even the Daily Telegraph, which, as I said before, is this establishment newspaper, very pro the royal family, seems to be embracing what William wants, because William wants a small m modernization of the British royal family. But Alison Pearson still does have a couple of harsh words to William in terms of politics as well. So anyway, let's go through it, because this is really interesting. So this is what she suggests. 1, the line of succession. Ernest Brooksbank is 14th in line to the throne purely because he is the grandson of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. I'm sure 2-year-old Master Brooksbank, a trivial pursuit question in waiting, is adorable, potty trained and already learning the concept of delayed gratification in a way Grandpa and Granny quite never mastered. But what are we to make of the fact that he and his elder brother August, the sons of a marketing manager in the alcohol trade, resident half the year in Portugal, are a foundational part of our monarchy? Even worse, 5th, 6th and 7th places are still occupied by the Duke of Sussex, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, so named because her mother was trying to cement her affiliation with the brand of Elizabeth II, whose childhood nickname it was. Prince Harry's children are Americans in everything but place of birth. Harry himself has brought the institution of monarchy into disrepute with his unfair allegations of racism against his father and sister-in-law, whose physical afflictions may not be unrelated to stress caused by his scorched earth campaign against his family. And yet Harry retains his hereditary position, and here we are just one plane crash away from Queen Meghan. It's nuts. Get rid of them all. Every single person in the line of succession must be removed after Prince Louis in fourth place, with an honorary place reserved for Princess Anne. Now, this was really interesting to me, P. Dinah, because I am coming around to this position. I do believe in hereditary monarchy, but I'm not quite as dramatic as Alison. What I think could happen is that everyone in the line of succession had to be a working royal. So yes, that would, apart from the direct sons and daughters of the heir to the throne. So you'd keep George, you'd keep Charlotte, you'd keep Louis, but then you would have in the line of succession Princess Anne and Prince Edward, not Harry, not Archie, not Lily, not Andrew, and not Beatrice and Eugenie. Personally, I think that is a really popular, practical suggestion, don't you?
Absolutely. And also, it guarantees the future of the monarchy
Yeah.
because you know where they stand. You know that they're going to do what they need to do to keep things moving smoothly. And it's the best way to secure the future of the monarchy by having people who are already implemented into the system and doing a great job to continue it. The worst thing you could do is to leave the spot for people who are, first of all, not of age and who could grow up to be like what Harry has done, right? And to be influenced by the new wave culture, or, try to brand their access to the monarchy. Like, you just don't know what they will do. So why not keep these security, things in place by having those who are really doing a good job already? I think it's a brilliant idea, and something definitely needs to start to change as we come into this new era of information and access, and how we're all so much more globally connected. You got to start to contain the access to the line to the throne because of how we work as a society now. Things are completely different when things were set like this back, when they did it hereditary like this. They need to do this and put things in place to protect the monarchy. Absolutely. I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. She goes on. This is her next suggestion, P. Dinah. No more titles by virtue of marriage. No more gongs and medals for doing nothing but being born into wealth and privilege. Titles should be reserved for the direct line of succession, and only then, if after they turn 18, they are working for the firm. That way, ghastly Sarah Ferguson, ghastly Meghan, and their children would not be duchesses or princes and princesses, for goodness sake. Yep, do you agree, P. Dinah? I think that's quite an easy one.
Yes. And I think the other thing around that is it would lessen the confusion by us Americans. Because when we see someone like Meghan and her children with these titles, we are confused.
Yeah.
Like, you are in America. What are you doing with the title? What does that mean? That has no relevance to you having a title being here in America with your
Exactly.
American
If you
accent
want the
speaking
title,
children.
you commit to the royal family and you commit to Britain.
Exactly.
Yeah, and she
Yes.
says, number 3, spares are bad news. See Andrew and Harry, ears only. Yeah. Number 4, no more bowing or curtsying. We are not peasants. Number 5, she says, greater transparency. It is no longer acceptable to say that papers relating to the disgraced Andrew's ill-gotten time as trade envoy are sealed for 90 years. The same goes for royal wills and business accounts. If our late Queen really loaned Andrew several £1 million to settle with Virginia Giuffre, did he pay inheritance tax on it? If what, why not? The public is entitled to know. Number 6, she says, how was the then Prince Andrew given the plum job of trade envoy when his elder brother shrewdly pointed out that he would only use it for playing golf and enriching himself? Did Peter Mandelson perchance have any influence in placing Andrew in a role that would be advantageous for their mutual friend Epstein? Every skein of this sordid scandal needs to be teased out with royal help. Number 7, no more lectures on climate change, please. When the king has 14 royal residences and a vast personal property portfolio, 3 palaces or castles is an ample sufficiency. Gift the rest to the nation. 8, if things get a lot worse, as they might, do not rule out the nuclear option, abdication. It would make a clean break and enable a new generation led by William and Catherine with their star power to lead a streamlined institution while restoring luster and popularity. By making such a sacrifice, the king would ensure a lasting place in his people's hearts. As I said, I'm a monarchist, so if I am starting to question the worth of the institution, things must be bad. We have a lot of history with our royal family, and life without them is unthinkable for many, but the well of affection and respect is now at risk of running out. The king must choose change if he is to belong to reign over us. So I'm where Alison is at, P. Dinah. I haven't called for abdication myself. We will be hosting a big debate on this on Outspoken this coming Friday, so a week today, because Rafe Hadel-Manku, the constitutional expert, is absolutely insistent that Charles should not abdicate and there shouldn't be a line of succession. So we're going to really flesh out the reasons behind that. But for me, where I'm at is it can't be taken off the table. And that's where I agree with Alison. Do you?
Yes, I believe so. I mean, it can't continue the way it's been going. I think you have to look at how you have to pivot and change due to unforeseen circumstances, things that go back a long time ago with Andrew, for example. So, there were things that they knew then that they didn't do anything about it, and now things have just gotten worse and worse, and more is to come, as we know. So I think you have to start changing how you look at the monarchy, because when people who are for the monarchy start thinking about why it even exists, then you have a problem. And you have to start listening to people that are making these very valid points in trying to make these changes. And I hope that this is what William is starting to do. I believe that he is. I hope that I'm right on that. But you have to start doing that, because we know everything that has been great has at some point or time has fallen. Don't think you're too big to not fail. And that is the thing that you have to always remember, that you could still fail. You can still turn the people who are for you against you by not doing anything. So start showing that you are going to make some changes to how things are done to protect the institution. And I think you keep people like myself and her and others who want the monarchy to exist to not question it, because when we start to doubt it and question it, then you then start to lose people like us who are for you. So we have to see you trying to make these changes. So I absolutely, let's see what happens when William's on the throne, hopefully sooner rather than later.
But here is where the story becomes even more complicated. Reports now suggest that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have reached out privately to Beatrice and Eugenie. Sources say the Sussexes offered support and understanding during this difficult moment. If true, this could signal something very interesting, because Princess Eugenie has always been known to be closer to Harry than to William. So some royal watchers are now asking a serious question. Could this situation be creating two different royal camps? One side, William and Catherine, protecting the monarchy's image. The other side, Harry, Meghan, and possibly the York sisters. Do you think Harry and Meghan are supporting family or trying to build allies against the palace? Comment support or strategy. Not everyone agrees with William's approach. Some commentators say the York sisters are being treated unfairly. Journalist Celia Walden recently defended them strongly. She pointed out something important. Beatrice and Eugenie have never attacked the royal family publicly, never written a scandalous memoir, never tried to profit from royal drama, and she reminded readers that Queen Elizabeth II loved her granddaughters deeply, which raises an uncomfortable question. Are the sisters being punished for something they didn't do? Do you believe Beatrice and Eugenie are being treated unfairly? Comment yes or no. All of this drama has started a much bigger debate, the future of the British monarchy itself. Some royal commentators are now calling for major reforms, including a smaller royal family, removing titles from non-working royals, and limiting who can appear in the line of succession. The idea is simple. The monarchy should be streamlined, modern, and scandal-free. And many believe Prince William supports exactly that vision. But others warn that drastic changes could create even more division inside the royal family. Should the royal family become smaller and more modern? Comment modernize or keep tradition. One thing is becoming very clear. Prince William appears determined to protect the monarchy at any cost, even if that means making difficult decisions about his own relatives. Some believe he's showing the strength needed to become a great future king. Others believe this strategy could divide the royal family even further. And as more scandals, alliances, and rivalries continue to unfold, the pressure on the monarchy is only increasing. So now the question goes to you. Is Prince William saving the monarchy or creating more royal drama? Tell me your honest opinion in the comments.